Today on Lockdown Red Wings, Scotty and I are going to give you our biggest flash in the pan Red Wings that have fizzled out, and we're going to preview that final matchup against the Ottawa Senators.
You're Locked On Red Wings, your daily podcast on the Detroit Red Wings, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Lockdown Red Wings podcast. We are your hosts, Brian Fisher and Scotty Bentley. For some reason, Scotty, my mind blanked when it came to the team name, and my brain defaulted to Seattle Kraken. I nearly said Seattle Kraken on the second take of that cold open, and I caught myself. That's why there's a little
peek
bit
behind
of
the
pause.
curtain. Brian has never gotten our cold open correct on the first try.
And I really felt like today was going to be the one because I knew what I wanted to say.
We've been on
first
YouTube for how long?
Since December.
So we're like 4 or 5 months into this. Brian's still daily show for 4 or 5 months. We do a daily show here if you're new, and he's still every single day screws up the cold open the first try. It is honestly remarkable.
I don't rehearse it. I just go, okay, hit start, and as
if
it's
you
counting
wonder
down,
why I'm like laughing at the beginning of every single episode, and why like if you watch on YouTube while I'm like trying not to laugh, it's because Brian's effed up the cold open already at least once, probably twice.
Probably twice, like yesterday. Got on my second time today, but just barely by the skin of my teeth. Three attempts, and it still wasn't perfect.
Yeah, dude.
Because then I hit the intro button 3 times before it actually played the intro, so there's like a 10-second pause. Oh, I missed when I didn't have to do a cold open, and it just like came in.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big step when you go to YouTube. You got to start doing the cold opens. It's
let's be honest, call myself out here. It wouldn't hurt if I rehearsed the cold open. I just I hit start and I have 3 seconds because there's a countdown time.
Brian
3,
just goes, "Are
2,
you ready?" I'm like,
I go,
I'm ready. I'm not.
Am I ready?
Yeah, sure, man.
Apparently, I'm not ready. Thanks for making us your first listen every single day. We are free and available on all platforms. Yeah, Tigers 2-2. Scotty, Javier Baez got it that time. There we go. Home run, take the lead. Pitching masterclass from Matt Manning in the bullpen. Wonderful game. I watched the whole thing. I was excited too. It started right as I got home from work.
Wonderful, man. Such a fun to toot my own horn. Such a fun episode to talk about everything for Locked On Tigers. Today's episode. Yeah, electric factory. Such a sick game, man. Javi's the man. And if you don't know the name Alex Lang, learn it because the dude is nasty.
Who was it? Barnhart who said after the game that his pitches had definitely an FU to them.
Yeah, because they do. He's so filthy, man. Like the stats, we break down like all the like analytics and numbers to what makes him so good and why he's so effective, but he's going to be so good, man. He is so nasty. I love him. I've been big on him since we traded for him, honestly, since he was in the minors. Such nasty stuff.
And that, my friends, is your daily Locked On Tigers plug. Make sure you go listen to him. He is on YouTube now. Where are your subscriber counts at?
We just hit 300 already.
Oh, man, you're going to pass us in a second. We just hit 600 a couple days ago.
600, though. Appreciate you, man. I don't know. Do we talk about that on air yet? That's so cool.
No, I don't think we have. I mean,
I think tweeted about it. I don't know if we talked about it on air.
No,
regardless, super sick. And I like if we can, like next season is
another step
even
forward.
With the off season, like everything is going to be like we got a lot planned and we're going to do a lot of fun stuff. And going into next year, already like established on YouTube is going to be so cool and just going to take us to even more new heights. Yeah. So really, really appreciative for sure.
Yeah, we for sure are. And it kind of happened by surprise. We weren't really even watching. Like 500 was our big milestone landmark. Like the first one, next one's going to be 1,000 for us. So we weren't even really like watching the subscriber count that much. And Allison texted me and she goes, "You just hit 600. I go, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Bet." And I pulled up the YouTube Studio app. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure did." And then she goes, "I'm going to unsubscribe now." I'm like, "Wait, whoa, hold on." I think she's funny. She's got jokes. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Now on to the show.
On to the show.
Today, we're going to do a little bit more of a fun topic. We're going to talk about, well, actually, I don't know if is this a fun topic? the
I
biggest
know
flash
this
in
is
the
fun,
pan.
man.
It's
This
fun to
is fun.
talk about.
That's fun stuff.
Biggest
I know
flash in the pan players to ever play for the Red Wings.
Yeah, like it's not sustained success or anything, but that like those niche players that make a huge flash and then like new generations of fans don't learn about, and like the lore of them isn't passed down, but like if you experienced it, you're like, yo, remember when this happened? Like that's always like when you're just like chilling with your friends,
And they'll
right? And
say a
you're just
name.
like shooting the crap, and you're just like, oh, remember so and so, and everybody's like, oh my good, like so and so, and then you pull up so and so's YouTube highlights, and it just becomes like a fun night. Like that's unparalleled. Like I love stuff like that.
I every time someone goes like says the name of a player who played for the Red Wings for like not even a full season, I go, oh yeah, that did happen. The one that always gets me for some reason is Jan Mrazek, and he wasn't a flash in the pan. I'm just saying like a name, a guy, a body
No, for
that
sure,
wore a
though.
Red Wings uniform. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Jan Mrazek played for the Red Wings, and he
Played
wore,
for
I
the
think
Red
he wore
Wings.
number 39.
Yeah, it like that stuff is like seriously, I'm not even kidding. Me and my friends could do that for like 12 hours straight. Like just sit and like we'll do this thing where when we all hang out where we will literally pull up on like the TV or on somebody's laptop and just pull up YouTube, and we'll just take turns plugging in highlight tapes of like random people we've all forgotten about, and it is so fun. It's like this is like my dream like topic. Like this is so fun to me.
This literally just happened to me with the Tigers today. No, was it yesterday? I think it was. Yeah, it was yesterday. Because Allison brought up Romine, and
Which
I was
one?
Exactly. And she was talking about the utility. I was like, oh, you're thinking of I said Andrew Romine. I'm like, wait, no, Austin Romine is the one who played for the Tigers. And I was like, wait, no, Andrew Romine played for the Tigers too. And I had forgotten. It was recently too. Like it wasn't that long ago. Was it like last season or 2 seasons ago? Andrew Romine was a catcher for the Tigers.
It was it was 2020. It was the shortened season.
There was also for some reason it's something with catchers. Like we've gone through so many catchers, like Saltalamacchia I had forgotten about.
Saltalamacchia hit a walk-off home run in like May, and I looked at my little sister who was probably 11 or 12 at the time, and I looked at her and I was like, if this dude hits a walk-off right now, I'll buy you his jersey. And then tank. Like I will never forget it. And I was like, oh,
wasn't there a Garcia in there too?
Who?
A Garcia in there too?
Avisale?
Avisale, yeah.
Yeah, he's still kicking it and making big money. Like he's still, I mean, he's like a he's under all-star level player probably. Like
outfielder, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. But we're talking about the Red Wings ones. Let's get into the Red Wings.
There's a lot of fun Wings ones though, especially like I think the peak of it would have been like the early 2010s when they were just trying to find anybody to kind of band-aid in there and be like, let's just keep the ship rolling. Like we're just trying to make the postseason kind of a thing. And like the mid 2010s, just I think that's probably where a lot of them are from. But also when your team is good and you have like a powerhouse, right? And you have such a really good team, if you can plug in somebody like temporarily that's just like, oh, like the ship will be fine because this is such a good team that we can just throw so-and-so in there. And then in 2 weeks when, we're back to full strength, he can go on and never be talked about again.
Well, and that's so there's where this disclaimer comes into, because Scotty and I are both like young guys in our mid-20s. So a lot of our memories of flash in the pan players are going to come from the late 2000s through the 2010s, because that's the bulk of our hockey memories, bulk of our Red Wings memories. So if you guys know of one that we didn't say from the early 2000s, the 90s.
Comment section it up, dude. This, like, seriously, I'm going to have a ball reading through it. So please, for our entertainment and, like, honestly, this offseason, we might revisit it and talk about, some of our favorite, like, people that players and comments that were left on this video. We might just revisit it in the offseason when we got a lot less to talk about, because it's such a fun thing.
And so here we are, already 9.5 minutes in, but I want to list off the very first one. I think we all know who the epitome of flash in the pan player for the Red Wings is going to be. I think we're all in agreement. And I'll list that last because I think people know who it's going to be.
Sure.
But I'm going to give you my first flash in the pan player. And as far as I'm aware, he is not kicking it around in the league at all this season. I don't even know where he's at this moment. But Tomas Jurco was a player who had all the YouTube highlights,
Oh yeah,
tore it up
all
at
of
the
them.
AHL level, just had phenomenal hands. In his first career game, had a filthy move against the Anaheim Ducks to score a goal, and then
And
and
then
he had a decent couple seasons. I'll give him credit. He had 15 points in his rookie season, 18 points in his second season playing with 63 games. But that was it. He peaked at the NHL level with 18 points in 63 games. And then his final season with the Red Wings in 16-17, he had 0 points in 16 games. He just completely fizzled out. He never
that's a
adjusted to
great
the
one
NHL
though.
level.
That's a great one though.
Oh, I was so excited when Tomas Jurco came up because I knew about his incredible hands. But it turned out if all you do is have good stick handling, but you don't have good strength on the puck, you're not very good defensively or in the corners, you're not going to last at the NHL level. One of those players who's great in the AHL level, but just can't seem to make it happen at the NHL.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have had a tinted visor. I don't know if Shady Rays does this, but they got fantastic sunglasses. That was an attempt, Scotty. That was a reach right there. Absolute reach. But Shady Rays sunglasses are awesome. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that gives you the features of $200 sunglasses for a fraction of the price. That means polarized lenses, well-constructed durable frames, and premium high-end finishes. Also, something you won't find anywhere else is Shady Rays' insane protection program. Shady Rays includes lost and broken protection on every pair. They will send you a brand new pair if you lose them, no matter what happened. Give them a try, and if you don't love them, you'll pay nothing. It's as simple as that. Plus, 10 meals are donated to fight hunger in America when you shop with Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, head to shadyrays.com and use code LOCKEDON to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's code LOCKEDON for their best deal of the season. 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses, backed by over 150,000 verified 5-star reviews. Also got to talk to you guys today about betonline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Segment 2, Locked On Red Wings podcast, Tuesday edition. We're going through the biggest flash-in-the-pan players in at least Scotty and I's recent memory. I won't say history, because it's more just what we can remember.
For sure.
Scotty, I gave you Tomas Jurco there at the end of the first segment to lead things off. Give me yours. What's your first flash-in-the-pan player?
So, like, my favorite one, and he didn't even really flash because, like, he had one game on, like, the opening night or the second game of the season where he hit the crossbar, and I freaked out. I loved Matthias Bromay. And the crossbar play had everybody in the fan base freaking out. They did. Everybody's like, oh, did you see? Because he put on a little bit of a nice move, then hit the cross, and everybody was like, oh, this, that was pretty nasty. And then, did he even score?
Yes.
Did he? Okay.
He had 1 goal and 1 assist in 26 games.
How many goals?
1 goal and 1 assist.
Nice. Yeah. No, definitely fizzled out hard. But I just remember when he first came over, everybody was like, well, okay. I don't want to spoil. Is the last one you're saving, is that like initials DB?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So people thought that Bromay was going to be, not, I don't think people actually thought this, but people were like, hey, like maybe it could be something kind of like him. And I was all in. On the Matthias Bromay hype. And yeah, did not turn out too terribly well for me. But at one point, I almost got his jersey. I was so close to getting his sweater. I'm not even kidding.
Well, he's just another one of those guys, though. Just like the mysterious
great highlight tape overseas, by the way. If you want a fun YouTube video to watch, go look up Matthias Bromay's highlights from not in America, and they're fantastic.
Well, just like the mysterious DB, just absolutely tore it up in the Swiss league, and like he went back to
Yep.
the Swiss league after this season or last season. This season, he's got 49 points in 41 games. He's just that's going to be a common theme among a lot of these players we talk about is they are great at just below the NHL level, and then as soon as they get to the NHL level, they just don't have it in them to compete. My next one, Scotty, is another one from that similar era as Tomas Jurco, Martin Ferc, who is actually still playing in the NHL here and there. He goes up and down between the NHL and AHL level, but got called up to the NHL level. We got told he was the second coming of Brett Hull with his shot. Same shot location, same shot style, dropping down the knee. He was going to be our Brett Hull or our Alex Ovechkin, and just absolutely ripping pucks. And he has the hardest shot in the league. I mean, at the AHL All-Star game, his shot was like 108 miles an hour, which would shatter the NHL record if he was at the NHL All-Star game. He's got an incredible shot, but that is literally all it is, and he could never hit the net, ever. He only managed to play 2 seasons with the Detroit Red Wings, 68 games in 17-18, had 25 points, 11 goals, 14 assists. Not bad.
Not
But
bad.
then the very next year, with 30 games, 6 points, 1 goal, 5 assists. And then the following year, went to the Kings. That's where he's been ever since. Drops up and down between the Ontario, California, and the LA Kings, but only 6 games this season.
Yeah, no, he was the shot on net thing was definitely a thing, but he was a fun one too, man. I remember. I feel like I remember a fight with him. This is like not good radio for me to just sit here and think, but like I feel like I remember a fight. But
how
that's
many times
a
have to
good one.
submit form?
That's definitely a good pull though. That's a great pull.
All right, all you, buddy.
I mean, like, does he really count as like a flash?
I mean, well, you don't have to necessarily stick tried and true.
No, for sure. Like, so he is not a flash in the pan at the NHL level at all because he didn't really ever establish and make himself to the NHL levels. This is more of like a bust thing than it is a flash in the pan thing. But a young Scott Bentley was a huge Tom McCollum guy.
Yeah.
Huge Tom McCollum guy. I thought I remember going in, like, we win a cup. Oh, we take a goalie in the first round. I was like, oh, we're set, man. Like, we're set. Like, the old wave of goalies is going to die out. This team's going to stay good because Tom's going to come up and be the dog.
Tom.
And yeah, he certainly did not do that.
Yeah,
Tom
he's
not big dude. Big dude. Not so much on the successful NHL career front though.
No, not so. Every single time he came up, he kind of got shelled. Played 1 or 2 games here and there at the Red Wings. I remember one year he got called up. I think Howard got injured at the same time as like Mrazek. And so he came up and started against the Pittsburgh Penguins and promptly allowed like 6 goals or something ridiculous that.
He's currently playing. You want to guess where?
I actually have it right in front of me.
Oh, that's lame. You're lame.
Well, as soon as you said his name, I'm like, I'm going to look up his stats.
Yeah, no, he's currently still kicking it in the Austrian Professional Hockey League.
Yeah. So he fizzled out of the ECHL. He was a first-round pick.
Man, that shows how young he's still only 32. Like, he was a first-round pick, what, in 08?
2008, so the year before they won the cup, technically.
Man, he was a first-round pick in 08, and he is still only 32. Like, could you imagine if he would have turned out?
I'm stupid. That would have been the year they won the cup.
He'd still be kicking it. He'd still be in his back end of his prime, probably.
That I wouldn't even say that. Goalies are weird. He would still be in his prime.
Right?
A lot of these goaltenders stay in their primes until they're late.
Goalies are, such a roller coaster. They have random primes at 40, but suck it. Like it. Who knows? But he could very feasibly have still been like kicking it at an elite level if he ever reached that first round goalie potential.
He was gigantic, but had 0 athleticism, and that's the problem with those guys.
He was a solid 6'2", 6'3". He was a big dude.
How about I give you a goaltender, and I won't really. I'll go a little off the beaten path too with this one. I won't say he necessarily fizzled out of the league, but he's definitely been a very streaky goaltender, and that's Peter Mrazek.
Sure.
We thought, I mean, he came into that 2014 series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it was him and it was Tyler Johnson of the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was them versus each other, and they went the distance, 7 games, and he stole the starting job from Jimmy Howard the start of the next season. And we thought he was him. We thought he was the next guy, the next starting goaltender, and then he just struggled with consistency. Incredibly streaky. Eventually, they gave up on him, decided to flip him to the Philadelphia Flyers, and then he went to the Carolina Hurricanes. Played fantastic, much like Nedeljkovic, behind their stellar team. They put him on then he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, which has admittedly a much worse defense despite how good they are in the standings, and that's a whole different topic, but they put up a lot of goals because Austin Matthews is a freak of nature when it comes to goal scoring, but they have no defense. So he, again, got really cold, gave up a ton of goals, and they have now assigned him to the minors. He went on waivers, and nobody picked him up. Nobody picked Peter Mrazek. Even as streaky as he is, so many teams could have used the Peter Mrazek, and nobody picked him up, which speaks volumes of what GMs at this point, at this juncture, think he is capable of. And so that's why I nominate him for a guy who fizzled out, because he at least fizzled out of the Red Wings organization. But he fizzled out faster than Jimmy Howard did. And Howard was on the tail end of his career battling tons of groin issues.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a solid one. And I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions on that one, but I don't mind it, man. And like he continued to show flashes even through, leaving us, continued to show some flashes at times. But certainly never nailed down the consistency.
Well, so his final year at the Red Wings, he had a 902 save percentage, 901 save percentage, but 3 goals against average. So that speaks more about the defense in front of him as well. If he's giving up 3 goals, but still saving 90% of the shots, they're facing a lot of shots. But this last year with Carolina, he had a 923 save percentage before having an 888 one this year. Like, the dude is incredibly streaky. So, yeah, that's why I nominate him.
I like that one. Do you remember Leno?
Oh my God, Ville Leno. He's not on my list, but that is a phenomenal pick.
That was gonna be my like last. When I prepped for this, didn't come, but while we were talking about Bromay and the guy who's gonna be last, like he came into my mind. Yeah, and I quickly just pulled up his numbers here in his 13 games in a winged wheel in 2009. First off, scored in his debut, and that was like the big thing, right? Like scored in his first game for the Red Wings, but ended 13 games, 9 points, 5 goals, 4 assists in 13 games. Not bad, kid. Not bad.
Have yourself a partial season. Well, then he went on to, was it the Sabres? Had a phenomenal year and got paid big bucks.
So he was 08-09 was his like first season with Detroit, and then he was on Detroit again, retained for 9-10, and then gets moved to Philly mid-season for a 5th-round pick, and then signed with the Sabres after that season had done. Yes.
Yeah, because he had a really good season, and then he got paid, and then promptly did nothing for the rest of his career.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I think they ended up buying him out.
Well, his season, so the year we traded him. So, okay, so 08-09, 13 games, 9 points, 5 goals. 08-09, in 55 games played for the Detroit Red Wings in 9-10, he had 11 points. Okay. Well, that was his full season. In 42 games played for Detroit, he had 7 points. But then in Philly, he had in 9-10 for the rest of Philly, 13 games played, 4 points. But then in 10-11 for Philly, in 81 games played, he had 53 points and almost 20 goals. So then he goes to Buffalo and gets paid, has 25 points in 71 games. Then 12-13 comes around, only plays in 8 games. He also eventually gets suspended for elbowing Matt Reed, which is kind of funny. I mean, not funny because he elbowed Matt Reed, but just the ins and outs of like this dude's career are just amusing to me. And then, last season was at 30 and 13-14 for Buffalo, where he had 15 points in 58 games. But I just remember the hot start because that team was a juggernaut, and everybody knew it was cup or bust. And I just remember that for a little bit, Leno just sprinkled in there for just a little bit and scored in his debut and stuff. I just remember the excitement for the for the little bit that he played there that season. I don't really remember too much of him after 08-09, but definitely remember the first few games of him in that season.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Guys, if you want to make sure that your car doesn't become a flash in the pan and fizzle out, you got to make sure you head to rockauto.com. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you will ever need. Why endure awful and pointless or seemingly intimidating questioning and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry? You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. They have everything you could need: brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpet. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck locked on in their How Did You Hear About Us box, so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts you will ever need. rockauto.com. Okay, Scotty, I got two more quick ones. Because we got to preview this Ottawa Senators game.
I mean, we got to talk about Brunner at some point.
He is the final one. Yeah, he's one of the two. The one right before that is Andrea Athanasiou, another guy playing in LA. Had himself a 30-goal season. Decided to never learn how to play defense, and so the team traded him away.
Yeah, still really kind of holds that close to his mentality.
Now he just owns it. He's just like, this is who I am. Put me on power play. I'll score goals.
Yeah. Hey, respect. The team's fine with it. Why not?
And of course, the final one being Damien Brunner had 26 points in 44 games played, 12 goals, 14 assists. He was a Henrik Zetterberg product. Played with Zetterberg over in the Swiss League during the lockout year. Zetterberg said, "Hey, I like this kid. Bring him over." Scored some very clutch goals for the Red Wings. Went on to get signed by the New Jersey Devils to big money, and then did absolutely nothing with the Devils. Had 25 points in 60 games. Not bad. And then the following season had 7 points in 17 games, and then gone.
So do you want to his production in his first 19 games as a Detroit Red Wing? You ready?
You have a breakdown for me? Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, first 19 games, 10 goals, 6 assists, 16 points in his first 19 games with the team.
He looked legit, man.
Electric. Averaged 17 minutes time on ice, too. Was getting the PT. Almost a point a game player. Almost a point a game player for the first 20 games as a Red Wing.
And then he didn't score. He only scored 7 more points the last 25 games of the season. Yeah, because it was a shortened season that year because of the lockout.
Only 3 of those were goals. So after his 2-goal performance, he had a 2-goal, 2-assist performance against Vancouver on February 24th, 2013. Okay, has a 4-point night, 2 goals, 2 assists. After that game, he would score. Yeah. Not very many really at all for the remainder.
He did, however, have a big overtime game winner in playoffs. I can't remember if against the Ducks or the Blackhawks that year.
He did. He absolutely
I remember that. Because I think it was set up off the effort from Nyquist, and he just buried the rebound, but still he crashed that
Wow,
button.
Yeah. And then he goes to New Jersey, and in 60 games had 25 points in 13-14, and then by 14-15, he only played in 17 games and had 7 points.
Yeah. So absolutely burned out real fast, especially with the amount he was getting paid. Yeah. That's tough. That wraps up about all the ones that I had off the top of my head before we started recording.
Yeah, no, I think that wraps up everything I had too. Yeah.
So let's knock out a real quick Red Wings preview. They play their third and final match against the Ottawa Senators. Is that the final match? That can't be right. Did I misspeak? They're a division opponent. Wouldn't they play 4? Am I just messing up immensely right now? Oh, yeah, it is the final match. I am
Haven't we
messing up
played?
immensely.
Because we played them on the back-to-back a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah.
Home and home.
I don't know why I thought they played them 4 times this year. Anyways, the third and final time. Lost 5-2 the last previous times in a home and home series. They are coming off a 3-game losing streak, however, while the Red Wings have just come off a OT loss 1. So, what are we expecting from this game, Scotty? I mean, they're just playing a team that's on paper, again, they should be better than, but last 2 times these two teams have played, home and away, the Senators have beaten up on the Red Wings.
I don't know what to expect. There's my analysis. I have no clue, dog.
Expect the unexpected.
The defense could be atrocious, and it could be we could be in for another long night, or we could realize that like there's no reason that we can't win this game, and maybe we step up a little bit. But it's certainly the home and home was brutal.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: is like if at this point in the season, like again, we're not actively rooting for tanking, but we recognize that losses aren't hurting this team. Like at any point, this team's not getting hurt from losing any point anymore. So if they lose, I'm not going to be really all that upset. I might get upset in the short term if they lose embarrassingly, but I recognize it's better for them long term if they lose. But I'm not active. I'm going to go to work tomorrow hoping the Red Wings get a win. But if they do win, it's going to be on the backs of goal scoring and probably an amazing goaltending performance, because that's all season how they've been winning games, because they know that defensively they are lacking. And even in games they win, they're lacking. In close games they lose, they're lacking defensively. And obviously in games they get blown out, lacking defensively. So the only way they win games that right now is phenomenal goaltending performances and, of course, offensive showcases from Jacob Vrana, which leads me to my next question, Scotty. How many goals does Jacob Vrana score on Tuesday?
Just on Tuesday?
Just on Tuesday.
I'll take 1.
I'm going to take 2.
Okay.
2 goals from Jacob Vrana. He's feeling it. He's on another level. A quarter of every shot he takes goes in the net, and that is sustainable.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Absolutely it is. Damn right. Can't wait for that two piece on Tuesday.
I'm so high on Jacob Vrana right now. I'm not high on much with the Red Wings right now, but if I can be high on one thing, I'm a happy camper. Well, hold on. That came out.
Wow. So many clips from that little monologue. Please keep going. No, this is great.
If I can be high on one Red Wings player or one element of the Red Wings game, I am a happy camper. That is what I was saying until you twisted my words.
I literally didn't say anything except keep going. I did not repeat a single thing you said. All I said was, yeah, great, dude. Keep going.
I hate you so much.
I'm high on life, man.
Well, now you took the wind out of my sails. Let's go, Red Wings.
Let's go, Red Wings, baby.
We ball. Real quick, tankathon. I'm just gonna hit the button. I'm not even counting because we're already over time. I'm just gonna hit it until we get it. Here we go. Am I sharing screen? I am. Okay. I remembered how to do that. I couldn't remember if I'd done it or not. Oh, okay. I am keeping track in my mind. That's 9. 9 times it took to get to the second. 10, down back to 10. 11, 9. 12, 10. 13, 10. 14, 1. There we go.
Bingo, bango.
So we ball. Fun episode, Scotty.
Fun epi.
Let's just not talk about the product on the ice more often.
That's a bad idea.
All right. We'll be back with a game recap tomorrow to talk about that product on the ice. Same time. Wait. Any final comments?
We ball.
Go
Tigers.
Go Tigers. Yeah. Beating the Boston Red Sox. Same time. Same place. It's your team. Every day.